If you want to master Adobe After Effects, there's one panel you must understand first. Not effects, not tools, the timelines. Because animation, keyframes, motion, timing, everything happens right there. So in today's class, we're breaking down the timeline anatomy step by step, beginner to pro. This is James and welcome back to the channel. Without wasting any more time, let's get started. So the question is, where is the timeline? When you open Adobe After Effects, you'll see a large panel at the bottom. That's your timeline panel. This is where you manage layers, create animation, add keyframes, control timing, sync motion, and whatnot. If you have used Adobe Premiere Pro, it might look very familiar, but Adobe After Effects timeline, it's a bit different than Adobe Premiere Pro. It works as layers, not like Adobe Premiere Pro's linear timeline. Before understanding the timeline, you need to understand the composition first. A composition is your working canvas. When you create a new composition, you define resolution, frame rate, duration, background color, etc. And all of that appears inside the timeline. Timeline is equal to the representation of your composition. Now let's break down the layer section. On the left side of the timeline, you'll see your layer stack. This includes video layers, text layers, shape layers, images, adjustment layer, pre-composition, etc. I mean, whatever you import for your project, that will be stacked here. So here each layer is like the pages. When you stack pages on top of each other, the page on the top covers everything in the bottom section. Same rule here, the top layer covers the bottom layers, exactly like Adobe Photoshop. Now every layer has their own control switches. You'll see icons like eye. Toggling it on or off enables or disables the visibility of the layer. Then the speaker icon that enables or disables the audio. Click on the lock icon to prevent editing on that layer. The motion blur icon will introduce motion blur for that particular layer if it's enabled. You can also click on the solo icon to make any layer solo. So these controls help you to manage complex projects very easily. Also, you'll see timeline rulers and timeline indicator at the top. You'll see the timeline ruler that shows time in seconds and frames, and the blue line here, that's the playhead or the current time indicator, I mean CTI. Wherever this is placed, that's the exact frame you are viewing. If you press spacebar on your keyboard, it will play or pause the timeline. You can press 0 on your numpad for RAM preview. Press J or K to go to the previous or the next keyframe. Now, smooth playback depends on your preview quality, your computer configuration, and your RAM. Now, let's talk about the layer duration and timing. Each layer has a duration bar. You can drag start to the trimming in point, and also you can drag end to trim out point. You can also move the layer left or right to change the timing. Click the small arrow beside the layer. You'll see transform control. Inside the transform control, there is anchor points, position, scale, rotation, opacity, and the effects if you apply any. These are your core animation properties. Almost every animation starts here. Now let's talk about the keyframe. Whenever you click on the stopwatch icon, you create a keyframe. Keyframe stores value at a specific time. For an example, if I click on the stopwatch icon for the position properties of this particular ellipse, I can tell Adobe After Effects to record the position for this ellipse at 0 second. At 2 second mark, I can change the position. Now, if I play it back by pressing the spacebar on my keyboard, Adobe After Effects automatically animate between the time 0 to 2 seconds, and it will show the position movement. At the right side, you will see mode toggle. Here you can control blending mode like multiply, screen, etc. There are also controls for track matte and parent and link that deserve a separate class. Inside timeline, you can also use zoom slider to zoom the timeline. You can use the scroll wheel to navigate. Press B and N to set workspace area. Also, you can use work area bar for preview section. It's very useful for longer animation. Now, let me give you a few quick pro tips. Press U on your keyboard to show the keyframes. Double press the U key to show modified properties. Press S on your keyboard for scale. Press P for position. Press R for rotation. Press T for opacity. These shortcuts help speed up workflow massively. Now, why timeline mastery matters. If you don't understand the timeline, you can't animate properly, control timing, build motion graphics, create viral reels animation. Timeline is where the idea becomes the motion. So that was your complete After Effects timeline anatomy breakdown. In the next class, we'll start real animation using the keyframes and we'll create our first motion project. So make sure to subscribe to this channel and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, goodbye.